Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Breakfast Spelunky for the 6th of March, 2020. I'm your host, Andy Nealon. I'm gonna... Wow, the chat is very alive. Unusually alive. Hey, guys. Hi, everyone. Great to have you here. Let's see. What did I miss? Want to become famous by followers? No, thank you. Oh wait, what else? What else is here? Fame is ShadowDX says fame is overrated. I agree. Hey, Unparalleled Dev. Hey, Hacksaw Unit. Hey, who else is here? Delverino, Tobias, VL, the Whistler Bowler, not Blower. Good one. Let's see. Oh, nice. Olmec win. That's cool. Good. Congratulations, doggy. That's cool. Is nabbing the book tricky in the City of Gold? Not really. Well, you have to bomb your way to it. It's more of a how do you get the book and then get out without the shopkeeper killing you or any number of other terrible things happening. Hey, Alex. Yes. Thanks, Stocky. I will have a great coffee today. I keep on holding this cup in the wrong direction. This is the... Man, my lighting here is garbage. Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous Totoro cup that I got when I was visiting Kyoto, I think in late 2015. Yeah, so Ix is here too and says your PS Daily Book of the Dead grab went well. It went. I mean, so Ix just watched me play on PSN, right? Again, this is the Steam. Oh yeah, Doc, I have so many Totoros. This is the Steam version. And I did beat the PSN Daily today. 1 second. I don't know if I already did this, but also, just in case anyone was wondering what my favorite movie of all time is, it's Totoro. I'm going to put this guy back here without killing myself. 1 second. That way, maybe occasionally he'll prop up in the picture if I... I am cinematics arts professor. Clearly, I know my cinematography here. Okay. Do I drink right now? Yeah, I have a bunch of Berlin cups too from the time when I lived in Berlin. I have this weird thing where I don't want to use the stuff from the city I live in while I live in it, but then when I move away, it becomes like memorabilia. Docky says I have the blue and pink mini Totoro. Hand from the museum. Yeah, mine are from the museum. Yeah, that was actually 2005 when I was in when I was living. I was visiting a lab in Tokyo for 3 months in 2005, and that's when I visited the museum and all that stuff. Alex says, know it well. Of course you do, because I sent you one from Tokyo in 2005 to our apartment that we lived in together in Darmstadt, Germany. Docky says I bought so much New York stuff. I didn't buy that. I mean, I'm still in New York too many times per year to make that feel right. But I have a lot of Berlin stuff from my time in Berlin. I only lived there for 2.5 years, and that was way too short. But hey, now I live in LA and the weather's better. Anyway, ramble. Last week I broke my streak broke. I think I had 1, 2, or maybe even 3 times in a row. So let's see what we can do today. Is the audio yep, the audio levels look fine. If they are not, hopefully you will tell me. Delverino says howdy. Unparalleled Dev, when I went to GDC, I got my girl a Totoro pin. Yep. Small indie art place. Nice. Yeah, Studio Ghibli has stores in metropolitan areas in Japan, so you can go there, and they're kind of like mini Disney stores. And not so many, actually, because the one in Kyoto was kind of insane. That my friend Jake took me to. Who I'm not going to see because no GDC, right? GDC is canceled thanks to COVID-19, which makes a lot of sense, I guess. Don't get hit by the dart, right? Because we're all like, at this point, I've come to understand that the reason this is terrible is because of the spread. It's not actually that it's any more or less dangerous than the common flu, but it's just terrible that we have yet another virus that's just going to be a thing that we have to deal with forever now because it's spreading everywhere. There's even a non-0% chance that I'll have to teach my classes online because of that, which is doable in this day and age. Let's see. Okay. Getting a little bit of screen tear and lag. I don't know what's going on here. Tobias VL says we also we don't have a vaccine yet, but I guess that's also true for the seasonal flu because of mutation. Yeah. I could be probably better informed about the specifics of what this is. Okay, this very same thing happened to me today on the PSN Daily where I threw an object into the spider net. And because of that now it becomes, and I wasted 2 bombs, right? Because now I can't stick. Oh. Let's take that. I'd actually want that too. Docky says stream looks great, no tearing or judder. Good. Good to know that's only on my side. So I want that glue, and I don't want to have to kill the spider for it, because if I... Like, this has death spelled all over. Like, this is a typical situation. I'm going to pause for a second. This is a typical situation. Let me actually move the camera a little bit so it's... Right? That is a very typical situation now where I'm going to... That's for sure death if I mess it up, right? I had a bunch of, like, pretty hot moments in the PSN Daily today that are based on what I always call muscle memory, but it's an unnecessary risk. Kill the spider for glue, says Docky. Yeah, I know. How, right? Like, well, let's try it. So I'm going to do it. See, because that happens. Right? And now I have to deal with that. Jesus Christ. And I don't have enough money to buy... So I'm going to have to hope that if I start rolling bombs... Nope. Come on. Yep. Okay. So that's always a little bit of a lucky thing to happen. Right? Yeah, exactly. I ruined the web, right? Fine. The problem is I only have 2 health, but also I think I'm going to get that... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that dog. That lovely pug. Let's see. Oh, right. Delverino says it would have just landed in the spikes and died. Yeah, you're probably right. I think you're right. I think that's what would have happened. Yeah, but it didn't happen, and it didn't happen because I actually removed the spikes by throwing a bomb there, right? Yeah, the situational dynamics of this game are straight up its most amazing feature, right? That someone sees something that I don't, also because I'm playing it in real time, right? But also because I'm, you know, everyone has a limited perceptual apparatus. Ah! Let's see, what else do we have here? So you can't rely on the bomb. Well, you can if the... Ugh, again. Too much stuff going on here. You can rely on the bomb if the first spider web is... if the first spider web is fine, right? Because then you just, like, throw the bomb in it. Tobias VL says, I'm pretty new to Spelunky. By the way, got into it finally because of the podcast. Got to caves today. Nice. Hey, getting to the caves is a big deal, right? Right. I've been playing the game for... I was going to say too long. That's not true. I think this is a fantastic game to play for the rest of my life. In fact... while I am excited for Spelunky 2, I don't think it's going to cause me to quit this game, right? I think Spelunky 2 is going to be a different thing. That dynamic where Delverino says that dynamic where you throw the bomb into a web is kind of a tutorial for how sticky bombs work, which is cool, yeah. It is. I never thought about it that way. Again, it's a thing that I'm pretty sure I've seen someone else do, right? I was like, oh, that's why there's why there are spider webs underneath the large spiders, so that you can actually use the bombs to kill them in a somewhat easier fashion than would be otherwise the case if they weren't there, right? Because then you have to rely on, well, lucky, because the spiders jump kind of randomly, like after a certain amount of time, and it's unclear when you have to like time the bombs to kill them. Yeah. Okay. So just to illustrate, because I do this, I try to do this pretty regularly now, what my mindset is. So I feel confident because I did beat the PSN daily today, but also, there's sometimes there are bad things in there. This is relatively expensive for half of the cup, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I have 15 bombs and 4 ropes. Right, so I'm doing this to sacrifice to get a mediocre item, but mostly because I want to get the cup eventually. Delverino says, or you just cook the bomb in your hands, which always works out and definitely never kills you. Yes. Yeah. All of this is true. I've gotten relatively good at cooking bombs, but yeah, like 1 in 10 times I still would die to my own bad timing. Like, I'm way better at cooking bombs than I am at whipping dart traps. My whipping dart trap skills are a 2 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. Docky says bombs and chests happen so rarely that it actually feels like a special treat. Yeah, it's only, I think, the first and second times that happens to you and you just die to it because you're like, huh, interesting. Like, I think cognitively your brain isn't willing to process that there are things in the world that are bad for you. It's like, oh, this is always good. Like, for example, I still whip jars, like breakable jars, and sometimes we'll just walk up to them, assuming that 9 times out of 10 it's not an enemy, which is absolutely not true, right? It's definitely more than 9 times out of 10, or 1 time out of 10. But I'll just walk up to it, because like, oh, green stuff, that's probably good, right? Green stuff is good. No, it's just a snake. It's just gonna take 1 of my health. Yeah, I also used to like always just grab jars and throw them until I started whipping them from a distance, which I'm gonna say I saw Patrick Klepek do when he was still deeply, deeply into Spelunky. He is now deeply, deeply into Super Mario Maker 2, I think. Although I haven't been following him lately. I think he may have switched over to Dreams, or I'm not sure. I think I saw him play Dreams the other day, which I am not interested in playing. Although I shouldn't be that harsh, I am a little bit interested in playing. The reason I say not interested is because for the longest time my job was to make tools, and so when you make tools, the last thing you need is to play other people's tools. That just straight up feels like work. Well, there's a black market. The damsels in hell are... Oh, Ick says the damsels in hells are especially sneaky. Yeah, it's true. But I've only died to one of them once. They grabbed me, and I think I got stunned and fell into spikes. Parachute useful, says Del Reno. Sometimes, like just now, it was pretty useful. Although I think I would have grabbed onto a ledge. You can fall as far as you want, and if you grab onto a ledge, it doesn't incur damage. Docky says my technique for survival and getting to the exit before the ghost has been to ignore all jars. Yeah, that makes sense. The jars are literally just get money so that you can buy expensive stuff and not immediately annoy the shopkeeper, I believe. I'm interested in dreams, but it feels like... Yeah, I share your sentiment, Docky. Interested in dreams, but it feels like work. It's surprisingly high on the reviewer scale, right? And I've heard it's amazing if what you're trying to do is use its like geometry carving functionality, right? But I also know Blender, and well, no, I'm not as good as people who do it professionally, but I know Blender enough, and ZBrush and all those things. Like, I don't need another ZBrush on a PS4 of all places. Taki says, I don't want to play it unless someone pays me. Right. Hey, John. John Axon says, let's go Blender. Yeah, man. I don't know. I've been singing the praises of Blender here on this show for at least 3 or 4 weeks now, or even more, because I started getting into it. And I hadn't touched it in, like, I want to say a decade, but that's not true because I think it's been 15 years. That's how long Blender's existed. And it's, wow, has it come a long way. Like, I think I like it more than Maya. Like, it's just amazing. That is a little bit too close. Right? Docky says, I've been knocking my head against Blender Anime Export all afternoon. Yeah, I don't know. I use it very casually. Like, honestly, as of late, like, at first I was using it to do some interior design at home. And then I started realizing that I can just do that on paper and it's much more efficient. And then I started using it because I really like the cycles renderer in it. Like, there's some interestingness to the noise that the radiosity solution does, or I shouldn't say radiosity, right? It's like physically based rendering stuff, sort of kind of radiosity. And I've been like making dumb little pretend album covers for my future music career that will never materialize. And it's super. Oh my god! Thank you. See, now RNG gods just saved me. Docky says, "Do plant whips while stun count?" They do not. They don't do any damage. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't miss my opportunity to kill the plant, because I have died to like trying to whip kill the plants. This looks bad. Yeah. Thanks, Jetpack. Ooh, that's a good sound. Do I need anything from there? I mean, oh yeah, I do. Here's why. I really, 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 over time, have come to super appreciate the glove, the mitt, right? The baseball mitt. Like, throwing stuff in a straight line is kind of a much bigger deal than I thought it would be. Ooh, I don't like this. But also, I don't want to spend money. And by money, I mean bombs to get out of there. Fine. That's all fine. I hate this. So I'm not gonna... There. Take a nice little break. Unparalleled Dev says, I used to draw shop drawing in AutoCAD for work. Ooh, AutoCAD. Yuck. So when I studied civil engineering and architecture in the 90s, I used AutoCAD. That was not a fun experience. Like, I preferred, honestly, back then, I preferred just using a drafting board and ink and frickin' like little razor blades to scratch out stuff. I mean, yeah, that's because I'm old. Docky says, playing with the tool in a way you enjoy is a great way to familiarize yourself with any tool. Yeah, I noticed that. I've been going through tutorials for the OP1 synth and also now for Ableton, because I got that for super inexpensive because I know someone who works there. And it's less fun than just messing around with it. Alex says, nice. Delverino, that's a lot of bombs. Derek loves the mitt, doesn't he? Says Tobias VL. He does. And I think he likes it because he likes throwing stuff ahead in the level. So he can like carry two things, kind of. Docky says, jumping boots is still useful even with the jetpack. Oh yeah, for sure. Tripmo said, hey Tripmo, kid stuff today, but had to make time to drop by and say hi. Go Team Andy. Bye again. Hi and bye. John Exon, let's go Andy. I might do the daily double again, right? It's looking good. Docky says, is money useless once you anger the shopkeeper other than score? Yes, pretty much. Delrio says no. I mean, I don't collect it anymore after that. Jumping boots are surprisingly controversial in the high-end speed and scoring community, says Ix, which makes sense, right? Because it throws your timing off, right? Like you're gonna jump into different gaps by, yeah, I can totally see that, right? So Delorino I meant no, as it is not useful, right? Yeah, it's even questionable how useful it is up front. Oh, that's not a good. That was not good. That was way too risky. Way too risky. Unnecessarily risky. Right? Okay, so what am I doing here? We've gotten to the black market, so all I'm trying to do here, just as a reminder, is get the hell out. Right? Well, and not miss up on good expected value trade-offs like these, right? Okay, that was a negative EV. But it's fine, right? I had to do that. That's the good old, would you have done this even though you just lost $5 million in poker thing, right? That it just makes sense. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so now, again, update on how I feel about this game right now is I feel super confident, right? Which is a risky place to be. Because then I'll just accidentally fly into stuff like that, to like those bubbles and get killed. Because I'm not being careful. Delverino says, oh yeah, we love not falling prey to results-oriented thinking. Well, what can I say? I do enjoy that quite a bit. Oh, so here's a cool thing that I love when it happens, right? So the shopkeeper isn't triggered right now, and I'd say that it's potentially a bug, but it's not, right? So check this out. Hey, buddy, how's it going? That was mean. He did nothing to me. Oh yeah, Docky, no crate left behind. Yep, loot crate's bad, Spelunky crate's good. Unless they cost too much, right? There's a break-even point at which it's probably not worth it. Very much depends on context. Oh, I don't have the spike boots, right? I also didn't have the spike boots in my PSN daily today, and it wasn't the end of the world, right? It's once again, I'm coming to realize that certain things I thought were more important turns out are less important. Do I not have the... Oh yeah, so because I played the PSN daily so recently, I'm confused. Ugh, it's probably not worth... No, that's not worth it. Not worth trying to get that bomb. Yep, that's bait. That is bait. That is the good old, at this point, Mad Max meme, I'd say. Okay, so now I am in. Most people in this room will probably know what's going on. Oh, and there we are. Wow. Right, so without the spike boots, I can't actually kill the mammoth. That's fine, I don't have to. So this is the level I have to die in anyway, so what am I doing here? I'm just getting the pug. I'm trying to get the pug to the exit. Because the pug will still yield me 5 health. Right, so I kill myself. And then when I come back out... Right, so now I put the pug in. Okay, this is absolutely hilarious. That's fine. Docky says, I sometimes try to imagine a situational meta value for bombs and ropes and health. I think I do the same, right? There's like that thing. This is so weird that I'm linking it to that, right? In life, supposedly there's a break-even point at which money doesn't matter, right? For most of us. Most of us aren't there, but that number is actually surprisingly, well, I find it surprisingly low, relatively speaking. Right? It turns out it's not like $1 billion, right? It's not like it's actually a surprisingly reasonable amount, after which having more money is gravy. Right? I think the same holds for Spelunky bombs and ropes. After a certain number, like it's not 99, right? I don't have to have 99 bombs and ropes to feel like I have 100. Right? It's probably around 30. But I am talking a lot right now. Let's see. Docky says, I've done spreadsheets for other games showing a fuzzy version of this type of value. Yeah. It's the sort of also kind of the point at which the whole chunky integers thing breaks apart. Right? Because the chunky integers are arguably... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, that wasn't good. Right? The chunky integers thing is arguably where Spelunky's at. I have to be careful not to die here, right? I already died. Let's get up here and get rid of that stupid little... There. So now I'm just going to get a landmine, because this dude down here is still alive. That way... Oh, come on. Really? Okay. I was trying to not waste a bomb on that. Did I miss the damsel up here? And by damsel, of course, I mean my pug, because there's no damsel. Because, yeah, obviously at this point, missing the cup would be unnecessary because, man, this is the point where I lose all ability to remember what already happened in this one level because of all the talking I'm doing. Must have already... Yeah, I can't see the pug. Delvery says you're stressing me out here. Yeah, I'm stressing myself out. John Axon says, can bouncing gold stun your character, or is that just rocks? I think it's a lot of other objects, but not gold, as far as I can tell. Ix says 30 plus bombs are infinite, but did everything to get killed to save a bomb with 42. Yeah, I'm not... Okay, the very typical truth of a professor is do as I say, not as I do. That just holds true always, right? I don't live up to my own standards, especially when it comes to working off of clean code bases or anything like that. Also potentially overrated, I've come to believe. Docky says, my grumble with Spelunky is that gold, etc. changes value. I wish there were just bigger gold piles. Well, you got City of Gold. That's basically one big gold pile. Oh boy. Okay, what's going on here? I love when so much happens off screen just now. Like a bomb goes off, the shopkeeper goes off, the shopkeeper isn't there anymore. All in like the passage of like 3 seconds. Well, sometimes the shopkeeper going off also provides me with the shopkeeper's shotgun, but it's also not that important right now. I think Critters, Ducky said... Oh, Del Rio says, do we ever go in the spaceship? I do not, but Ix wishes I did. Just to die quicker, I think. Ix says, jetpack and good bomb count for Andy to go in the mothership. Who else? See, right? I should read the chat in order, and then I would have seen that already came up. Docky says, I think Critters, Jar, Crumbs, and Gold are the only things that can't stun the player. Could be fun. I'll do it in the future. Come on. Like, I mean, of course I'll do it. So I don't have... So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lob a bomb onto... Forgot that part because I'm an idiot. I forgot that I have the gloves or the mitt. Okay, so... Most people know this, but this is for one. I'm looking for Anubis because I need Anubis' staff. I'm trying not to kill myself in the process. There's Anubis. Let's do that. Okay, so now I'm just going to try to clear a path for Anubis so that I can... Well, this is fine. Come on, buddy. I think one bomb should suffice, right? Nope, it's two. Uh-oh, this is bad. No, it's fine. It's fine. Those things are super, super slow. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. I guess I haven't triggered the shopkeeper yet. How do I do this? Let's do this. Sorry, buddy. You're going to take a little bit of hurt from that, but it's not going to... Yeah, it's not going to kill you. I didn't think so. So I just want to clear out the shopkeeper first. Taki says staff meeting 4-1. That is a very good one. I have not heard that one yet. Alex says go spaceship. Nah, not today. Okay, this is another situation where 33 bombs buys me some sense of security because I can make sure that I don't accidentally fall into the lava, which is a thing. Okay, there's our buddy. Let's do this. So I could also just like try to zap him, but this is safer, right? There. I don't have the cup, so that's why I'm saving as many pugs as possible, just to bank up on health. Delverina says, hey, you know what item's good at killing shopkeepers? Yes. Bombs. But that thing also... Yeah, MIT is useful. Delverino, that's exactly what I meant by MIT is useful, right? Because otherwise, I mean, it's not impossible to lob the bombs, but bomb count just dropped below infinite. It did, but I'm good. I think there'll be more bombs. Okay, so let's look for the... So, City of Gold door is literally always in 4-2. Right, so that's what I'm looking for right now. There. And there it is. But I'm also trying to not trigger that buddy. Got it. Okay. Ix says Mitt also has a lot of useful bugs for a bunch of challenge runs. Interesting. I did not know this. Because as you probably know, Ix, our like actual like Moss ranking hyper specialist on the show like is Doug, right? Doug's like all about breaking games, which I like a lot too, but not as much as he did. Like he literally has a PhD basically on that topic, right? That's what he did his PhD in. And with that, I guess it's fine for me to just at this point, like, advertise for the fact that if anyone's interested in that topic, you should totally go check out Doug Wilson's PhD thesis, which is available online. It's great. There we go. Okay, so the door's right there, right? Shopkeeper is annoyed. Oh, shopkeeper just... Ugh. But also, I don't like that. I don't like any of this. All of this looks like unnecessary danger zone. I'm at 26 bombs. Okay, cool. That does that. So I should be a little bit less wasteful about just using them all up. But also, whatever, right? Oh, yeah. John Axon chants double daily, double daily. Yep. Speaking of double daily, I think I can do this while talking. While playing, I just, you know, because whatever, here's how many steps my brain takes. The daily double obviously is from Jeopardy, right? That's why this should be the double daily. But I just got my Kickstarter for Half Truths, which is a game by Richard Garfield and Ken Jennings, the 74-time Jeopardy winner. And we played, like, we didn't even finish a whole game last night, but we played a little bit of it. And here's the premise, right? So I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Wits and Wagers. It's one of those games where there's a trivia question that's like numerical, and then everyone has to make a guess, but it's all happening simultaneously. And then later on, yeah, there we go with the bombs. And then later on, everyone can bet on other people's guesses if you think that yours was wrong. And then there's, you know, multipliers and like probabilities, and the ones that are more in the center are worth less, and the outliers are worth more if they're correct. This one is called Half Truth because each question has 6 answers, and 3 of them are correct and 3 of them are wrong. And you can bet on up to 3, but you don't have to, right? You can also just bet on 1 or 2, but if you bet on more and they're all right, you get bonuses. But if any of them are wrong, you don't get the bonuses at all, right? It's really cool. Anyway, there's my little piece of trivia about a game of trivia for today. Ick says the main useful bug, you can create glitchy safe spots for hired helps begin score runs. Nice. Unparalleled Dev says, what a dev team. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But I guess if you're Richard Garfield, you can meet Ken Jennings and ask him to make a game with you. Or I don't know what the history of that is, right? Like, we had Richard on the show, but that was about Keyforge and not about Half-Truths. But it seems really cool. Like, I'm really enjoying just the first 5 minutes that we played of it. It seems nice to have that extra push your luck mechanic. It kind of makes the trivia game more interesting, I think. Ick says, I know 2 people who used to work for that company that makes Weights and Wagers until they moved on pretty recently. Weights and Wagers is, I'm going to just straight up say it, I know a lot of people have other favorite party games. That's the go-to party game for our family, right? If you have people over, Wits and Wagers always works. That always works. King of Tokyo always works, right? Because it's Yahtzee. Del Reno says, are there multiple lava doors? Multiple lava doors. Oh, no, there's just one. There's a lava doors. You mean doors to hell? No, there's exactly one. And the way you see it is if you have the Book of the Dead, there's a little icon that will flash fast when you're right above it. Docky says quiz plus gambling plus maths is like a triple threat. I can't handle that. It sounds more intimidating than it is. The way they set up the board makes it very non-intimidating, and the way you do your simultaneous bets is there's always 6 answers, right? And you have 6 poker chips that are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, and you put them face down so the opponent can see how many you've placed, but they can not see what you've placed on. That's it, right? That's all the actions you're basically doing. Unparalleled Dev says, Ken seems like he would be a Magic the Gathering player. Yeah, so my wife last night said, I bet Ken Jennings is a Magic nerd. So you and her both think that. John says, have you ever been hit by a fireball while standing on Olmec? Oh, probably only 2 or 3 times in my multiple thousand runs career, but it's very painful, and it happened very recently, right? That I got stunned by a lava dude that wasn't even a ball anymore, and you're stunned long enough that in the meanwhile, Olmec sinks below the level of the door and you can't go in anymore. Docky says he must have met Richard at the weekend or after Tuesday. Okay. I don't get the pun. I'm really bad at puns. Del Reno, well, that's cool. Thanks. Ix, very cool. I think Codenames is still my favorite. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm talking about, like, Wits and Wagers was before Codenames was out for us. That's why it's our go-to game. But yeah, Codenames is also but Codenames is a little more like thinky. I think like the people who are on the spot have a little bit harder time, whereas like in Wits and Wagers, you're sharing that. Unparalleled Dev says sounds price is rightish. Yeah. Oh, Docky says Richard Garfield hates Mondays. I did not know this. I did not know this. That is news to me. So let's get that first. Ropes, sure, why not? Cool. So now I have the throwing bit, so I can do this. Del Reno Docky is making a Garfield cat comic joke. It was appreciated by me. Okay. Oh, the one thing I'll say about that game is of course, because it's a North America game, it's loaded with cultural references that mean absolutely nothing to me. Right? Where it's like, blah, 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 did this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even know who that person is. I've never heard that person's name. So one thing I'll say right now is I don't actually enjoy a whole lot not having... Ooh. This is not great. I don't enjoy not having the compass here. I usually like to know where the exit is. Let's do this. Yeah, I was pretty sure that was gonna murder our buddy. There's some timing skill to figuring out when to trigger that ball and chain thing. I do not have it. That was lucky. Unparalleled Price Right is a game show. Oh yeah, no, I know Price is Right. Sorry, I didn't mean that as the cultural references. I meant the references on the questions on the cards for Half Truths, where it's like there's 6 names, and I'm like, oh, these are all talk show hosts from the 70s or 80s in the U.S. Taki says, I'm so sorry. No, please go on. I'm trying to get better at this, although at this point, I'm pretty much giving up on it. Hacks on you. Man, the OST in this game is so good. It's really good. It's really good. Like, people turn it off. I will never turn it off. Although my wife does say that she will probably not forget the opening soundtrack for the rest of her life. Docky, I couldn't... Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Docky, I couldn't make it through some LucasArts games in the early 90s because of so much basic American culture knowledge. Yeah, and Tim Schafer is famous for that, right? It gets... Now that I've been living here for 12 years, it gets better. Ix says there's Caves music from Spelunky Classic that is also amazing. Docky says I missed the Spelunky Classic OST. It's pretty good too. I get it. I love it. I'm actually more of a chiptunes fan, to be honest. Okay, let's not be stupid here. I'm just gonna straight up say there are people, comedians in the US, who are better at like making it culturally slightly less dependent, right? Like my one of my favorites, which is a controversial person for some people, is Hannibal Buress. Like, I just watched some of his comedy last night on YouTube because it's like Comedy Central stuff, and man, that guy is funny. Not always the most politically correct, but yeah, what can you do? Okay, let's not be stupid here. There's our buddy. So here's what I sometimes do in these situations just to stabilize my Y position, right? I just get onto a rope, so all I can do is like fire. So now this kind of sucks, so I'm gonna use a bomb for that dude. Ba-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-doo. Tobias says I couldn't make it through the age verification test in Leisure Suit Larry because it tests your nationality more than your age. Yup. Delverino says, have you ever used Bosca Sea Oil, Andy? I don't know what that is. Hacks on you at Chiptune. Is that a tracker that has a cool name and I don't know of it? Let's go ropes. X2 Magnum Men from one fire pot when you use a bomb. Yep. Docky says in Day of the Tentacle I was blocked because I didn't know how the flag worked on mailboxes. Didn't know about stuff being collected from you and raise the flag. See, the only reason I knew that was because I spent my first 9 years in the U.S., where that was way more prevalent than it is now. Like, I don't really see a whole lot of people, like even in rural New Jersey where a lot of my family lives. I don't see that a whole lot anymore, even though they have them on the mailboxes. But when I was a kid, that was just the way you signified that the mailman was there today. So I knew that, even when I was living in Germany. X09 says... Oh, no, Haxon says... Oh, by the way, what I just did, I don't know if you heard it, sometimes when I'm on point, I will swap in German for English. So I just said... Wow, that's my calendar. I just said nay instead of no, right? Which is just straight up like a slang version of no in German. There's a tiny nod to the original chiptune soundtrack in the VS track, I think. A very quick little motif, though. Delverino, Bosca Ciola is a tool that Terry Kavanagh made for quickly making video music for prototypes. I have not tried that. Interesting. Interesting. I should definitely check it out. Delverino says I use it for all the time. I use it all the time. Could be useful for your students or you. Yeah, we used to use SFXR, but that was just for, that's not for music, right? But I think Dr. Vetter or whoever the person is who makes SFXR with, which is the chiptune sound effect stuff, also has like a sequencer and a little synth. Ix says distract Andy before he gets to Yama. Yet I'm okay. Unpalative. Chiptune is amazing. Super charming. Hacksaw unit. I do Game Boy tunes. Nice. I know some of the people from New York, right? Because I used to hang out at Blip Festival when that was still a thing in New York. Who do I... Well, specifically Richard, right? Minus Baby. Richard's a great human. But, man, that guy's music. Jesus Christ. Like, I get chills just thinking about it. But yeah, New York City back in like 10 years ago when chiptune was a big thing and Blip Festival was a big thing, was an amazing time and place to be there. Yeah, SFXR is not for music, right? Delverino says I use it too, but not for... Delverino says... Bosca. Oh, thanks for the link. Link just popped up. Dr. Petter, exactly. Not Dr. Vetter. Docky says the only time I made... Oh, I can't use trackers at all. The only time I made any progress with music making was on GarageBand on iMac. Yeah, and because of that, some people recommended to me that I used a Logic Pro instead of Ableton. But I actually started using Ableton because Logic Pro is $200, and I got Ableton Suite, which is $750. I got that for $40 because it's like a friend's price. Alex says save your German until later. I will. Although if I don't speak German to my kids soon, my wife's going to divorce me, I think. Ix says I made music in Mario Paint when I was in my early teens. Hey, dude, whatever works. Whatever works. I also got an Ableton Push for like, I don't know. I stopped. It was so cool. Like, the thing is also like $800, and I got it for $400, which is still expensive. But boy, oh boy, is that like better than just using Logic or Ableton tools on like with a mouse, right? Okay, I need to focus again. Be free, my fiery friends. I love freeing those little fiery dudes, freeing them out of those little pots. Okay. What do we have here? So this looks a little bit dangerous, right? Because there's a lot of stuff going on here that I do not approve of. Especially this... Yeah. Come on. Okay, this is because I don't have the spike boots, right? Whatever. We're good. Eventually we'll get him. Or her. I don't know if the vampires are actually gendered. I probably could have walked over there to see what's what before I did that. Docky says, my German friend has taken to watching German TV with the baby. I should do that, right? I should just do that. I mean, right now we're still in the phase of like maybe TV is not the best of ideas, but the other day I started watching like people playing semi-modular synths, like these new Moog semi-modulars for like weird drone-y stuff, and there's like very little animation in it, and man, does he ever like it. And I'm like, ooh, we're doing this, buddy. Doc, he says flame guys equal Bernie bros. Man, this is super good practice. I'll credit you with all those jokes later when I use them later in the day. Cobear25 says howdy. Hello, Cobear. Cobear25, welcome. Hacksaw unit, maybe they're all Draculas. Yeah, or Vlads per the cape. Who knows? Could be anything. Okay, double daily. Here we go. This should be easily doable, right? I have, not if I do that. I have enough. So here, again, here's the situation, right? I wasn't paying attention. Although I don't even know if you can see that on the zoom. So now I don't know on which side the exit is. Right, so normally I work my way up the side. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I work my way up the side that has the exit on it. But now I don't know what that is. Ugh, Jesus. So I just have to pick one and start working my way up it. So I don't want to... So let's see. Is this the exit? It's not, but you know what? It's good enough. I'll just fight my way over after I kill this guy from here. Yep, that's what I need right now. Bunch of bombs. Hey, buddy. Okay. Sorry. I had to do it. Sweet! Yes! Yes! Another daily double. I actually have to think about that now because it's... No, double daily. Double daily. Not daily double. Double daily. Ix says amazing. Big money if you get the rubies too. Yeah, Unpale Dev GG. Excellent. Let's go, Andy. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I guess I could have gone for money. I never care about that. Journey is its own reward, and mastery is the greatest treasure of them all. But gold is pretty nice too. Which I can confirm as a person who's looking for a house in LA right now. Docky says, I can't imagine hell without jetpack or infinite ropes. Yeah, oh, yeah, hell without... Well, ropes is useful in a lot of different situations. If I don't have ropes on that spot, because of the way I kill the boss by, like, roping underneath that little ledge where the stuff that comes from the ceiling doesn't hit me, I can't do it. It's terrible. GGDD. Exactly. It's like GLHF at the end of a Spelunky run is GGDD if you manage to do the daily double. Double daily, not daily double. Man, I will not learn that. This is actually rather perfect. I want to play some more Vagante today. We also have an upcoming guest that we haven't announced yet. And I have their game in preparation to play. And I think I could have done that on the stream. But I'm not going to do that now. Lo and behold, it's something that probably no one's ever heard of, I think, because it's not out yet, but it is amazing. It's a nice genre mashup between a thing that we actually see very little of, and I wish we saw more of. So that's, sorry for the teaser, but I can't expose more because we still have to announce it. Alex says, awesome, dude. Thanks, Alex. Alex and I are going to play, hopefully, if we can swing it, we're going to play Resident Evil 7 later on Discord. Docky says you could introduce your child to Sandmännchen, or is that too East German for you? Oh, no. I grew up with Sandmännchen. Right? That was super popular in West Germany, too. I know its origins are East German, but every kid in West Germany in the 70s and 80s, and maybe 90s and noughts, I don't know, like, watch that at 7, because it's such a good timer. It's 7, it runs 5 to 10 minutes, I think, and then you go to bed. Right, so it's you don't have to argue with your parents. I think it's kind of like it's a thing they did for parents also. Alex says next 3 doubles in a row. Ooh, 3 doubles in a row. Wow. Okay, I'll try it, but that would have to be Fridays, right? Alex says Sandmännchen should be fine for him. Yeah, I should just. Yeah, I don't know, screens, right? I'm a computer graphics person, but I kind of like. I have a mixed relationship. Like, I literally, one of the reasons I got the Push 2, in case you're not familiar, it's like an Ableton controller, is so I don't have to look at my monitor all the time, because it does it all on the device. But I will say, like, with respect to that whole, like, it needs to be a Friday, I don't know yet, because there's a non-zero chance that we will all be working from home for a couple of weeks in the very near future, and, like, streaming, all of our lectures to students. Who knows, right? We might be in quarantine anytime soon. If that happens, I might just do this every day because I'll just be working from home all the time. Okay, I'm gonna let this run out. I'm gonna end it early today. Cobear25 says, have you guys ever talked about hosting a Spelunky show game jam? We have not, but now we will. I do like that a lot, right? I do like that a lot. Docky says my partner has a pity plush next to the bed. Nice. Delverino, is this the hedonic treadmill? Double daily once and it's amazing. Double daily again, now you need 3 in a row to chase that thrill. It's just putting up more stuff to like never stop playing Spelunky, right? Please Spelunky show game jam, that would be amazing, says Delverino. Well, Cobear25, you may have kicked that off, so in the future we will credit you with bringing that idea to the forefront. Because here's... Oh, and Delverino says maybe an episode about prototyping and then a game jam after. Man, do I have enough material to give lectures on prototyping. I mean, it's literally the class I teach right now. Right. What did I want to say about that? I was recently asked by a very good friend who's working on a piece of, working on a book, what we call Spelunky-like likes. And I said, well, we kind of refer to them as, roguelike likes. And I was like, well, they're kind of roguelites. And I said stuff like, it refers to the fact that there's a meta structure around that over time makes the game easier to play, which is not, I said it was originally used as a pejorative, and now similar to walking simulators, the community has taken it back and just embraced the idea that for some people that's a better structure, right? Like there was a long discussion that I had with, let me turn down the volume. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There was a long discussion that we had with, help. With Kara and Farbs, right, about this. Because their game Void Bastards tries to do... I'm going to just turn off the audio for a second, or at least the music. There we go. Their game just, is completable. Not like Spelunky, right? You could say Spelunky is completable, but let's face it, right? I could also just keep on playing Spelunky. I guess the flames are okay. Let me turn down the volume of that a little bit. There we go. Wow, now I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Rogue is a roguelite. Interesting. Rogue, the funny thing for me always is that Rogue on the wiki, on Wikipedia, says genre roguelike, right? So I just said to him, roguelite is fine. And then, of course, I told him jokingly that Reagan called it a rouge-like or rouge light or whatever, right? Who cares? I like the idea that Spelunky show game jam would be about Spelunky likes, right? That are sort of kind of platformers with interesting RNG and procedural content generation, right? Because who knows, right? Maybe in the future it'll be a Spelunky like, but also I think it's too small to make it that. But whatever. Genres are weird. Labels are complicated. Unparalleled Dev, want to play Vagante? I do, but it's 10:59 and I have a meeting at 11, so I have to go. Although they always know that I go over, so it's fine if I'm a couple of minutes late. But it's probably not enough time to start playing Vagante, which happens when I talk a lot in parallel to playing the entirety of the daily. Tobias VL says, so you know how this thing, hang on, let me turn down the volume here. Okay, so let me just turn off. Where was I? Yeah, I'm not good at this. Delmarina says, bye, thanks for the stream. You are very welcome. Yeah, Tobias, this is your first time. I'm not a pro, right? I'm a computer scientist and cinematic arts professor who does this on Friday mornings for the love of the game and not to be a production professional. Although I would like to get better at it, so if you have any pointers, please, by all means, you can email me at neon@usc.edu. Ix says, GGDD, thanks a lot. Thank you very much. That was super fun. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see you latest next Friday, but again, who knows what's on the horizon right now? No one knows. Like, we're over here, we're in a situation in LA where California has declared a state of emergency, but California is also a little bit touchy when it comes to that stuff, so we don't know what's going to happen. We might, just as a precautionary measure, all work from home for a couple of weeks. Hey Fritzy, good to see you. Bye, though. Docky says, I'd love a show that breaks down Spelunkiness and Spelunky likes. See, after we had Mark Brown on the last show from Game Maker's Toolkit, I got a lot more interested in like making like professionally produced YouTube videos that do that kind of stuff. But when I say interested, that's about as far as it goes, because the amount of work that is enormous, right? He's a pro, and it takes him 2 weeks to make a 10 minute show, right? I think if he does 20-minute shows, it takes a month because of all the editing and writing, and it's a lot, right? It's a lot of work. A lot more work than for me to make a slide set. Like, I could just give a lecture on randomness in games or something, but again, I can't do that on the stream. I'd have to stream that on YouTube because I think Twitch would say this is not a game. I don't know. I actually haven't thought about that. Tobias says, speaking of game jams, 7-day roguelike is over soon. Oh, I didn't even know it was running. I'm not following that. Delving chants, more streams. Could happen. Tobias says, could discuss some entries on the show. That's not a bad idea also. Okay, so I should start taking notes now, right? Because now I have 2 good ideas. Spelunky show like Game Jam, and special stream or show where we discuss entries that are good on the 7-day roguelike. Daki, Vagante, Cave Blazers. Man, I still haven't played Cave Blazers. Daki, even Dead Cells. Dead Cells, man, the time I played it, looks and feels really good. Like, they definitely nailed that part. Delverino, are we going to get a show-like interpretation to go with the Berlin interpretation? Hopefully not. I hope not. Fritzy says, I'm participating in 7-day roguelike. Cool. Again, I have a couple email addresses. The easiest one is probably neilin@usc.edu, where you can send me stuff like this if there's anything. But we also have like the Spelunky show at gmail.com. Again, that's Nick and I monitor that email regularly. It's very low. There's not a lot of inbox incoming stuff. So if you send something, you'll for sure get read. Delverino says you could stream a lecture under just chatting or IRL. I thought about that. Frizzy says +1 to show like Game Jam. Okay. Docky, Cave Blazer is over for me in 10 minutes. I'm difficult to please. So am I, but I've heard very, very good things about it. Hacksaw Unit, The Breakfast Treatise on Spelunkiness. Any suggestions you have that are with respect to this, collate them into an email and send them to the spelunkyshow@gmail.com. And for sure, I will take them into account because, as I said before, I love doing this. If there's a critical mass of people who wants to hear this kind of stuff, I will for sure put some effort into it. It's really fun to do. Daki says I'd love a less fussy Spelunky, not more fussy. What would that look like? A more minimal Spelunky, right? I mean, it's for sure exists, right? The question is whether it's interesting and whether someone can pull it off and whether it has it could actually be something that feels more like Dead Cells, because Dead Cells has, let's face it, I love Spelunky more than most, but I think Dead Cells has better game feel. Something that's minimal, has even more chunky integers or less, I don't know, less fussy, has less upkeep. It's hard to do, right? Spelunky already has really little stuff, like you can carry one item. Docky says also episode on Spelunker Plus, Spelunker World. Again, of games I've played maybe once a long time ago, I feel. Anyway, please, all the mine. Please keep the emails coming. This chat is archived, obviously, so I can look at this as well, which I might do later just to share it with the rest of the team. I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for being along for the ride for the second double daily in the history of the Breakfast Spelunky show. But now we have to try to do it 3 times in a row. And then maybe I'll also, if I have time, I'll just go through the highlights of the PSN daily, because they're actually archived on Twitch, on my A. Nealon account, not on the Spelunky Show account, which makes it all kinds of confusing. Thank you for the stream. Take care, Andy. Unparalleled Dev. Hacks on Unit. Congrats. Cool. Thanks all. Have a great weekend. Have a wonderful week. And I will talk to you latest next Friday. I'm signing off now. Cheers.